Yeah!
Scheisse! The Marvelous Medic makes his magnetic mark as the game's leading support class, granting a lovely boon of healing among his rambunctious teammates. Quite obviously, the Medic is not the fighting type, so how does the genial man of medicine match up with the good old Pyromaniac? Well, it's actually not as simple as you might think. In a 1v1 scenario, a Pyro up close pretty much has it in the bag, that's undisputable. However, if you're in an instance of needing to close the gap, as the Pyro almost always seems to be with these enemies, the Medic most likely has the crossbow equipped, which can deal some nasty bursts of damage to you as you approach. And they ain't easy to reflect either. This can make your closer engagement with the Medic slightly tougher, so tread carefully, and don't underestimate the crazy kook. Now, I've been asked how this exchange could differ if the Medic was pocketing someone, and honestly, all you can really say is to follow the general advice given for fighting the other classes listed, and then just slap a Medic on the end of it, which shouldn't be tough to understand.
Yeah!
Oi oi! Time for an interesting matchup indeed. Mr. Mundy stands proud as the game's long-range pick class, and a damn scary one at that. As the only class with the capability, it comes out to his only true hard counter being himself, because every other class bar Slightly the Spy is at massive disadvantage when being harassed from afar by the crazy backward bloke. Previously I've stated that as a dedicated close-range fighter, Pyro is Sniper's natural prey, and this still rings true. But don't fret, it's not at all impossible to outsmart a Sniper if you play your cards right. It's just very fucking hard. While this probably sounds like a broken record, the only way to deal with a Sniper is to close the distance. Anything else is trying to push a boulder up a steep hill. Your best friends in these situations are going to be either the flare guns or the jetpack. In the case of the flare guns, using them to harass a Sniper at long range can help open up a chance to close the distance. Remember though, that unlike the Sniper, your flares are projectiles, and if firing at long range, ones that are not particularly difficult to dodge when the Sniper is focusing on you. The splash of the detonator and the scorch shot can circumvent this to harass. Either way, you're forsaking the raw damage of a flare gun or a shotgun. Onto mobility, the detonator and the jetpack will be your best friends in this regard. Taking more unpredictable routes and trying to keep out of the Sniper's sightline while closing the gap is what you're aiming for. Once you're able to close the gap, smoking the Kiwi is as easy as pie.
Gentlemen?
Oh, oui, oui! Monsieur Baguette Thief sneaks into the final spot, and oh boy, this'll be an interesting one. Much like a lone engineer, medic or sniper, Spy by himself in a 1v1 scenario is not really a big challenge for the Pyro. That being said, this is Spy we're talking about, so it's not always that easy. In a 1v1 fight where you have the close range advantage, the Spy still has plenty of tools to get the jump on you as he does for other classes, disguising and cloaking around to get the jump on unsuspecting baddies with his backstab attack. The Pyro, however, acts as a natural soft counter by flaming to spy check and effectively render the Spy's stealthy nature near useless. Note I say soft counter, which I'll get into. The Spy himself is not defenseless and can easily punish an over-aggressive power class if they're not careful. The Spy's revolvers minus the l'étranger all specialise in dealing raw damage through some mean, stocked as a reliable 60 damage max with moderate fall off past mid-range. The Ambi rewards headshots with crit damage, though this is also sadly affected by fall off. And the Diamondback is pretty much the old Ambi for people who can't aim. Let's also not forget trick stabs, something any experienced Pyro will have nightmares about. Because of the nature of the flamethrower dealing damage over time rather than instant burst damage, an agile Spy can pull off a trick stab in time to avoid enough damage to live through Afterburn. Particularly since cloaking both reduces the damage of Afterburn and the duration it lasts. A good way around this is to airblast a Spy out of melee range and harass him with your secondary, seeing as how he isn't resistant to any, unlike another Pyro for example. Now, go and make yourself a toasty cheese baguette. So, that's basically it. If you've got to this point, you've probably seen how to fight every single class as Pyro, and the big message that kind of sifts through most of them is that, Pyro is, not the best class in the game. But hey, you chose to main him, I chose to main him, and we're still going to make the best of what the Mass Mumbler has to offer. So just use your brain and fight those bad guys with the best skills you have. Keep improving your skills, keep reflecting, keep learning to combo, keep learning to flank. Just do more than just WM1ing, because even though we all know it's weak, people are still going to scream at you for it, so this has been the cup of coffee that you all know and love. And as always, I shall see you next time, my sexy compatriots. Bye!